and welcome to our kids service. We are so excited for you to see everything that we have for you. But before we do that, we're gonna need you to stand up, make some room, because we're gonna jump into some worship.
Let's worship together as we sing Waymaker. We worship you, Jesus.
I worship you.
He's the Waymaker.
Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. And you are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are here, turning lives around.
Jesus, we worship you.
I worship you. I worship you. You are here and you're healing every heart. I worship you, yeah. I worship you.
He's the Waymaker.
Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. And you are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. And that is who you are.
Jesus, you are the Waymaker, the miracle worker.
Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop. Jesus, you are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. I know.
Sing to Jesus.
Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are, and that is who you are. That is who you are, Jesus. That is who you
It's gotta be around here somewhere. They just said to take a left and then I couldn't miss the giant rock formation. I don't know where I am. Hey adventurers, I am so glad you're here in kids. You might be wondering why I'm dressed like this. Well, we're gearing up this month for an adventure in kindness. Kindness is showing others that they are valuable by how you treat them. With God's help, we can learn what kindness is all about so that we'll be ready to show kindness when the time comes. Since we're adventuring together this month, we'll need some adventure gear. Don't worry though, I have everything I need here in our trusty backpack. Let's play a game to see how much you already know about camping and hiking gear. I'll reach inside my backpack and describe an item that I feel. You can shout out what you think it may be based on my description. You ready to guess the gear? Okay, let's see what we've got in here. All right, it's kind of long. It's metal. It has a handle. Did you guess water bottle? Good job. All right. Ooh, this one's smaller. It has a strap. Buttons on it, maybe? And plastic. It's a headlamp. What about, ooh, this one's kind of crinkly. It's in a bag. Did you guess granola for a snack? Good job. All right, one last thing. It's small and it's round. Well, I probably need this right now. It's a compass. Good job, guys. You really know your adventure gear. I think we're all ready to adventure into our story for today. Before we get into our Bible story, let's start with our big answer. What is the big answer? It's the answer to the big question. And this is a question you should get from that important adult in your life. And that is, what did you learn in kids' church today? And our big answer for today is Jesus showed us how to be kind. And our memory verse for this series comes from the book of Colossians. And it says, you are God's chosen people. You are holy and dearly loved. So put on tender mercy and kindness as if it was your clothes. Don't be proud. Be gentle and patient. Colossians 3:12. It's important that we learn to live with kindness because God created us to be in relationships with each other. Remember, kindness means showing others that they're valuable by how you treat them. We know that kindness is important to God because we see how God has shown amazing kindness to people all throughout the Bible. And of course, Jesus gave us the greatest example of kindness. It's easy to think of kindness as just, being nice, and that's part of it. But Jesus showed us that true kindness goes much deeper. Let's take a look at 3 different times Jesus showed kindness. The first story we'll look at comes from Matthew chapter 8. One day after Jesus had finished teaching, a man with a skin disease came up to him. Now, at that time, if you had a skin disease, there was no easy cure. So you had to stay away from everyone, even your own family. No one wanted to come anywhere near you, much less actually touch you. But the sick man was so desperate that he didn't care about the rules. He threw himself on the ground at Jesus' feet and begged Jesus to heal him. In Matthew chapter 8, verse 2, he said, Lord, if you are willing to make me clean, you can do it. The crowd around Jesus would have been horrified, but Jesus didn't move away from the man. He reached out his hand to touch the man, and in shock of everyone around him, Jesus said in Matthew chapter 8, verse 3, I am willing to do it. Be clean. At once the man was made well. His skin became completely clean and healthy. Through the kindness of Jesus, this man could now return to his family and friends. Let's take a look at another time that Jesus showed kindness. We can read about this one in Matthew chapter 19. Jesus often spent time with people who were overlooked or considered unimportant back then, like children. In those days, people didn't think of kids as being as important as adults. So when some families brought their kids to see Jesus, his disciples stepped in to stop them. The disciples thought Jesus was way too busy with important stuff to be bothered with kids. But Jesus loved the children, and he had a different idea about how to treat them. In Matthew chapter 19, verse 14, Jesus said, Let the little children come to me. Don't keep them away. The kingdom of heaven belongs to people like them. Jesus welcomed those kids, laying his hands on them and blessing them. He showed everyone around him how valuable children truly are. Let's look at a third time that Jesus showed kindness to some unexpected people. And we can find this story in Matthew chapter 9. You might remember the story of how Jesus invited Matthew, who was a tax collector, to follow him. A tax collector was considered to be a traitor to the Jewish people because they worked for the Roman enemy. They collected money, taxes from their own people to pay their enemies. And some tax collectors even took more money than they were supposed to in order to pay themselves. They made themselves rich, so tax collectors weren't liked very much. But Jesus wasn't afraid. He called Matthew to be his follower. Matthew was so excited to be Jesus' friend that he invited Jesus over for dinner. And when Matthew invited Jesus to dinner, Jesus didn't hesitate to come. Matthew also invited some other tax collectors and some other people who were looked down on for their wrong choices. When the religious leaders saw this, they were shocked. They asked Jesus' disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with the tax collectors and sinners?" Jesus heard them and he said this, "Those who are healthy don't need a doctor. Sick people do. I have not come to get those who think they are right with God to follow me. I have come to get sinners to follow me." That's in Matthew chapter 9, verses 12 and 13. Jesus didn't just spend his time hanging out with people who were thought of as important or people who seemed to have it all together. Since Jesus is God's son, he showed us what God is like with the way he lived and treated people. He gave his attention and help to those who were outcast and overlooked or who weren't considered important. He showed everyone that they were important and valuable. We can show the kindness of God when we do the same thing. Jesus showed us how to be kind. Of course, he showed us the greatest example of kindness to all by giving up his life on the cross. Because of what Jesus did for us, we can have a relationship with God that will last forever. Like Jesus did, we can keep our eyes open for people who are often overlooked. It might be the smallest kid on your sports team, who you cheer for with a little extra enthusiasm. Or you could give a smile or a thank you to the person who bags your groceries or the person who clears the table when you go out to eat. It could mean writing a note or drawing a picture for someone who's having a bit of a tough day. Remember, we are all made in God's image, dearly loved by God. So if you're not sure exactly how to show kindness to someone, think about what we always say here in Kids. I should treat others the way that I want to be treated. Think about what someone has done for you that made you feel important and special, and then go do that for someone else. Our memory verse for this month is Colossians 3:12. You are God's chosen people. You are holy and dearly loved. So put on tender mercy and kindness as if they were your clothes. Don't be proud. Be gentle and patient. And that's pretty cool. With God's help, we can gear up and put on kindness like we're putting on clothes. And then we can go out and love others just like Jesus taught us to. Like our big answer says, Jesus showed us how to be kind. Okay, I'm going to get back on my adventure now. I'm trying to find a really cool rock wall to climb, I guess. So I hope I can figure out where this is, though. I'm going to try this way. We'll see you guys next week.
It's time for Memory Verse Breakdown!
Hey kids, today we're gonna break down this week's memory verse. Are you ready? Okay, here's this week's memory verse. You think you got it? Try saying it out loud. All right, let's take some words away. You think you still got it? Try saying it out loud again. All right, let's bring those words back and see how you did. Did you get it right? Awesome. Well, that's this week's memory verse breakdown. How'd you do?
Memory Verse Breakdown! Game time!
Who's got their thinking caps on today? Well, if not, you better put it on because you're gonna need it. We're about to play Bible Name or Element. The rules are simple. I'll read a name, and you have to decide if you think it's from the Bible or from the periodic table. If you think it's from the Bible, then cheer and clap as loud as you can. But if you think it's from the periodic table, then I want you to throw your head back and laugh like a mad scientist. Okay, you get the idea. Easy enough, right? Let's begin! Here's our first word, manganese. Remember, if you think this is a Bible name, clap and cheer. But if you think it is from the periodic table, then laugh like a mad scientist. Time's up! Who's laughing? Well, you can keep laughing because you're right! Manganese is from the periodic table. All right, let's try another. Ephraim. Time's up! Are you laughing? If so, you should be clapping. Ephraim is the name of Joseph's second son in the Bible. Here's the next one. Habakkuk. Time's up! Are you clapping? If so, you're correct! Habakkuk was a prophet in the Old Testament. Well done! See if you can figure this one out. Sargon. Time's up! Who's laughing? Because you should be clapping. Sargon is an Assyrian king from the Old Testament. Here's the next one. Oxygen. Time's up. Is everyone laughing now? Because oxygen is from the periodic table. Here's the last one. Epaphras. Time's up. Is everyone clapping? If so, you're right! Because Epaphras is a friend of Paul from the New Testament in the Bible. Great job, everyone! Go ahead and give yourself a high five!
Thank you so much for being with us today. Before you leave, have that important adult in your life go to lifechurchgreenbay.com/kids, where you can grab our Kids Connect card. There you can discuss our big answer, the memory verse, and even more. We love you so much. Have a great week.